Hi, I'm Bruce Mackay of Mackay Insurance. Mackay Insurance has been a proud member of the Bay of Quinte region for the past 45 years, providing quality and effective insurance products. Mackay Insurance has been a proud partner with the Belleville Senators since their inception in 2017, and we are proud to support the development of professional hockey within the region. I'm Bruce Mackay of Mackay Insurance, and this is Road to the AHL.
I'm born and raised from Barrie, Ontario. Parents are from Sudbury, Ontario, from a small town called French River. I played, minor hockey, Timbits hockey in Barrie. So that was, obviously really cool. Made some lifelong friends from down there. I have an older brother who kind of, taught me the way, taught me how to play hockey. Probably, my biggest hero growing up and still is. So. I was probably too young to remember. I started skating around 3 years old, but probably really started to fall in love with the game at about five or 6 years old. I was always at the rink, going to watch my brother play hockey games, and always at home watching NHL games with my brother sitting on the couch. So I think around 5 or 6 years old is kind of when I started truly loving the game and wanting to skate or find ways to play ball hockey every single day. And went to a few OHL hockey camps, but had a lot of interest from the Moncton Wildcats and the QMJHL, and kind of was my best opportunity to try to live that lifelong dream and hopefully playing in the NHL and getting drafted in the NHL. And they gave me a great opportunity. They were great to me, and probably the biggest decision of my career to go down there, but I enjoyed every moment. Yeah, that's tough. My first year there, we had probably the best team in the CHL, and COVID hit that year, so couldn't follow through with that year. But just having such a good group of guys and having such a good team, I learned a lot from the coaches down there that year. And but individually, I think the following year, kind of making that next step after being drafted by Ottawa and having a bigger role with the Moncton Wildcats was obviously really fun. I think it was my first game in Laval. I played in Laval, sold out building, their home opener. It was fully packed. Laval was a pretty physical team that year, and kind of, doing stuff that I would do in junior, cut through the middle of the ice and try to dangle a guy, but I didn't really dangle a guy. He stood me up and gave me a good hard hit. But I think once I got hit hard like that, I think I had to change my game a little bit in terms of the pro game and just keeping it more simple, obviously. So. I just think I was still a little bit undersized and a little bit smaller, that I think the best decision was for me to go back to junior in the second half of the year. But in those 15 games, I learned a lot. It was a lot of fun, and we had a really good group of guys around me who was teaching me a lot in terms of skill stuff and physicality stuff. So yeah, obviously it was tough. Didn't really want to go back to junior. Part of me, obviously, I wanted to be playing pro at 20 years old, but when I heard it was St. John that was acquiring me, and I knew they were hosting the Memorial Cup that year, I was really pumped that I'd be able to, obviously experience that tournament. But St. John did also an unreal job of, making me feel welcome right away and helping me out, just getting settled in. So. Yeah, probably coolest experience I've ever had in my hockey career so far. It's definitely different than just playoff hockey, since it's a tournament format. But I think it's just so much media around you, and being as the hometown team, obviously there's pressure on the hometown team. But we had a really good team, and we knew that, and the coaching staff was unbelievable with us there too. And we kind of just embraced the moment, and just we knew we were the underdogs going into that tournament, and we embraced that role, and it obviously worked out for us, and definitely a memory I won't forget. Yeah, I had shoulder issues with that shoulder that I did injure in junior, and kind of recovered it. And after that injury happened when I was down here, mentally it's really tough. Especially with the start I had. I was really excited to have a really good year, and for that to happen, it was obviously devastating for me. But coaching staff and the Ottawa staff, thought it was best for me to kind of get that shoulder figured out, and But there was other guys in the dressing room who were also hurt, so to be around them and have a good relationship with them was helping me get through it for sure. I think for me, obviously, being sidelined the last 2 years, the first 2 years of my deal, and going into my last year of my deal, I think there's obviously pressure, but I think I have to just try to put that aside and just play my game, and just playing the game that Ottawa and that the staff here in Belleville want me to play. And I am an offensive player. That's what I do think. That's the player I do believe I am. And I think it's just not focusing too much on that. I think just playing my game, developing as a player every single day, and learning as much as I can from the veterans here, but also the coaching staff.